If you thought the only war zone this week was Congress, guess again. The Pentagon just reminded the world that America can multitask. Because nothing says, we've got this under control, like launching surprise airstrikes on Venezuelan boats, while your own government is too broke to keep the bathrooms at Yellowstone open. The official story? The US military conducted strategic interdictions, a phrase so vague it could describe anything from drone strikes to awkward TSA pat-downs. The targets were described as non-flagged, high-risk vessels suspected of being involved in narco-trafficking. Translation? They looked sketchy, they floated near Venezuela, and we hadn't blown something up in a while. So boom. No public evidence, no names, no clear confirmation that these weren't just unlucky fishermen with bad timing and worse GPS. But the bombs flew, the press releases dropped, and somewhere deep inside the State Department, someone probably fist-bumped and said, "That'll show M." Of course, Venezuela called it a gross violation of sovereignty, and while it's always awkward when a dictator makes a valid point, they're not entirely wrong. We're dropping bombs outside their waters like we're playing Battleship, Drug Cartel Edition. And Congress? Barely blinked. Because these days, airstrikes are just another Tuesday. It's not foreign policy, it's brand management. Biden's approval numbers are lower than the Mariana Trench, and nothing revives a flailing administration like flexing military muscle on a country most Americans couldn't find on a labeled map. Don't like gas prices? Look. Explosions. Feel uneasy about the economy? SSHHH, we bombed the narcos, freedom secured. And while we're off spreading freedom by fireball, back home the FBI is undergoing what experts call a hostile takeover, and what Kash Patel calls a vibes-based justice renaissance. Yes, Kash Patel, Trump loyalist, conspiracy aficionado, and now FBI director, because in this timeline reality is written by someone binge-watching Fox News through a bottle of bourbon. At his Senate hearing, Patel was asked why the FBI is suddenly investigating journalists, climate activists, and, I'm not making this up, vegan anarchist collectives. His answer? We are monitoring radicalization vectors. Cool. That's not terrifying at all. Especially since radicalization now apparently includes tweeting "capitalism kinda sucks" or owning a reusable straw. Internal memos reveal the new FBI threat assessment system includes red flags like climate hysteria, equity rhetoric, and I could not anti-meat language. If you've ever ordered an oat milk latte, congratulations, you're now a potential domestic threat. And while all this happens, Patel sits in hearings smirking like a Bond villain whose evil plan is just misusing office printers and surveilling yoga studios. Republicans call it restoring balance. Democrats call it democracy having a stroke. And the rest of us? We're just trying to figure out how the guy who once accused the deep state of faking hurricanes is now in charge of domestic intelligence. Remember when the FBI was supposed to be independent? Like, sacred cow level untouchable? Yeah, now it's more like a Chick-fil-A franchise with subpoenas. The agency is being turned into a political tool, and not even a subtle one. It's not justice is blind, it's justice now takes requests via Truth Social DMs. And the real kicker? Most of this is happening without pushback. The courts are clogged, Congress is broken, and the press is too busy chasing ratings to explain why vegan collectivism is being flagged as extremist behavior. So here we are, bombing sketchy boats abroad, blacklisting kale eaters at home, and pretending this is all fine. Because in 2025, national security isn't about facts, process, or rule of law. It's about vibes, enemies lists, and never, ever apologizing for blowing something up. Land of the free, baby. As long as you're not too free.